Right, hello again. So this one is just going to be a general chat about me and my thoughts about buying stuff on eBay regarding gaming stuff. Now, people would probably turn around and say, Steve, why do you buy so much crap, especially crap games, which are completely scratched up on eBay? Well, let me explain the reason why. And now you can leave a comment if you wish to. No, I don't mind that whatsoever. I would say in one way, it's a hobby and an investment, I suppose, because we all know games will probably go up in price, while some will go down in price. So if you're lucky enough to get like a game which is like a couple of quid to buy right now, especially on Xbox. Now that Xbox has stopped downloading their digital downloads for the Xbox 360, there might be a game that you want to download, say like a Tomb Raider game, for instance, yeah, and to download it and purchase it, might be in a couple of quid. You might be able to buy the same game, for either the same amount of money or a little bit more expensive, in the shop, a game shop, being a Cash Converters, CX, or some other shop that might be selling games around in your area. And that particular game that you've just downloaded or wanted to download ain't available for you to download anymore. So, you could have seen a game on there, like, let's say like a Tomb Raider game on there, which was only going to be a couple of quid to download, but you left it a couple of days and you go to actually go and download it and purchase it, and it's no longer there because like the Xbox 360 marketplace is closed down. The only way you might get the game is if they pull it through the other way, the game feature, which they give free games to, every so often. Or the only option is to go and purchase it at CX or Cash Converters or a different game store. You might be able to pick it up cheaper or around about the same price at a car boot fair. You don't know. Now, I've picked up loads and loads of games from car boot fairs, shitload from CX. What I've done is I bought loads and loads of games from car boot fairs and looked at the trading value, got enough to trade in to make a bit of a profit. And I'm going to be talking about that in a minute, about purchasing games and saying that you're getting games free when you're not actually getting games free. That's how I see it anyway. But you buy God knows how many games you trade in to build those credits up, like I did, and I was able to get like the Wii U console and a GameCube out of the £300 credit that I got in. Well, I've been buying games from car boot fairs. Now the thing is, you might say, well, you got that free. I didn't get it free because I had to buy the games from the car boot fairs. I might have made a little bit of profit on it, but the profit margin is only when you get the cash from CEX. So if you buy like 20 games, for instance, and you spend that 50 quid, and all of them's got a decent trading from like £1.60 up to like 20, 30, £40, trading. If you can double your money through the cash trading, then yeah, you made a profit. You doubled your money. But where people say that, even I do it. I could go in and fucking buy a game. I just recently got this one. Yeah, this is a £15-20 game, right? Now, if I was to buy that at a car boot fair, for £1 or two, yeah, I will know that that is going to make me money, you know, because in CEX, let me see how much that is on CEX. Where's my phone? This is where you make your money, by getting games cheap for about £1 or so, maybe a couple of quid. Case needs to be redone on this one. Right, so this one is £18, right? Or you buy it for £12. I actually got this one from what's that place? Other place called Vintage, and I paid who is it? Right, I paid £10 for this one. Well, actually more than that, because it was £12 plus the buyer's protection, which was £1.30. So that's £13.50, then £2.30 postage. So you're talking about just over £15.50, something like that, yeah. And on CX, it's £18 to buy. So I actually saved a little bit of money in buying it from Vintage. So like £13 with the buyer's protection, and then £2.30 postage. Why it was £2.30, I don't know, because I know that these, I used to like send out games to people, and it only used to cost like £1.10, something like that. But I know the postage has gone up over the years, so you know, maybe £2.29 is like around about the right price. I don't know. I've not sent nothing out to anyone for a few years now, actually, through Royal Mail. I've probably sent like some returns back, but that's about it. So yeah, like £18 to buy on CX, £12 trade-in voucher, or £8 cash. So if you was to buy that at a car boot fair for a couple of quid, then yeah, you've made money. You've made a profit on it if you trade it for cash. So you know, £8 minus your £2, you've made £6 on it, yeah, £6. You will get more on trade as a voucher, £12, but it's not real money, is it? It's a voucher. You can't cash in the voucher for money. That's the reason why they do it two ways: trading cash, which is £8, or trading as a voucher for £12, which is a £4 extra on your trading, right? So where people say, "Oh, I'm going to buy that game to make more money," the only way you're going to make money is by getting the cash value. Then you maybe doubled or tripled, depending on the game, yeah. But where they turn around and say, "Oh, I'm going to trade this in for a voucher, and it's going to triple my money," it's not. It's not tripling your money. Not that I see it that way. I see it that it's like a digital currency that you can't trade in for cash. The only way you can trade it in is by buying more games. So you're not making a profit, are you? You know, and when they can turn around and say, "Well, I'm getting free games," the only way you're going to get free games if like you trade it in for £12, right, and then you purchase 2 or 3, cheap games, and then you can turn around and say, "Well, that game there cost me like." Let's pull out another game, for instance, here. See, some of these games I've got down here is worth a bit more money. let's just say Call of Duty, Black Ops on PlayStation 3. Yeah, you know that's only like about £3, I think, on PlayStation 3 to purchase on CEX. You know, cash wise. But if you're going to use your credit, £3 from 12 is 9. All right. So you buy another 3 or 4 games with that £9 credit. Then you can turn around and say, well, hang on a minute. The first game makes up for the £2 for the game I just traded in here. The other 3 games or 4 games, what you've used with credit in, is 3 games. That is 3 games because you've not paid for it in one way. You know, you used your credit, and your first game being like Bully, you know, you pay £2 for it. You traded in the £12 for it. You traded in the voucher for 4 games, for instance, yeah, just for argument's sake, 4 games. The first game being, you know, a couple of quid, for instance, yeah, then that couple of quid will actually pay you back for the cost of what you paid for the game at the car boot fair. The other 3 games that you've purchased through your credit is a bonus, and yet they are 3 games. If you see and understand what I mean. I hope you do, because I get fucking confused myself sometimes on what I'm saying. But yeah, that's the only way you're getting 3 games is through a voucher that you trade in the game for, which you bought for £2. You got a £12 voucher on it. The first game, being a couple of quid, is your comeback, your refund, you could say, on the game you actually purchased at £2. The other 3 games or 4 games, but depending on how much the games are, you're buying like £1 games, then you can probably get 9 free games out of it. Yeah, some games are 50p in CX, so it depends on the cost of the game and how much that game is going to take out of your voucher. You know, you could probably just get 1 game, which is £9, you know, but it's still a free game. So the reason why I buy a load of games is to, I'm not doing it now, but I was buying a load of games at car boot fairs. And yesterday's car boot fair was closed because of the weather forecast. Apparently it was going to rain, and it didn't rain. So the car boot fair never did open. And I never got to meet my mate to buy some games off him and to give him some bits and pieces that we was planning to trade with each other. So, you know, last car boot fair I went to was about 3 weeks ago, I think it was. And yeah, I bought like a load of games from there. But I didn't actually trade any in with CX for vouchers because I wanted to keep them. And because I've not been going to the car boot fairs, you know, I actually said to myself, Steve, don't go to the car boot fair. See what you can get on eBay. Because, you know, some of these games at car boot fairs are £3-4 each, you know. And some of the games I've already got, I'm buying duplicates. Why am I buying duplicates? Well, that's another thing I'm going to explain in a minute here. Now, you know, I've been spending quite a bit of money on eBay, buying disc-only games, you know, just discs without the inlays, without the manuals, without the fault, you know, the box. I've probably had a few hundred games like that, and I've been getting like 100 games for like £45. Now, if you think about that, that's like 50p a game, if that. You saw the games we just went through this morning. Now, I could pick out a game right now at random, and you got the UCF 2010, all right? And let's see how much that is in CEX. All right, let's see if this works. UFC Undisputed 2010 Xbox 360. Right, so that game there is only £1.50 to buy it in CEX. Trading value, voucher 10p, 1p cash. Now, £1.50 for a game, yeah? Would you say that I've made money on it? Because if you class that as like a 50p game, if I was to sell that for £1.50, then I've made £1 on it, as it is like that. But because it's only disc only, I don't think I'll get £1.50 on it. I probably might get about 50p or 75p, because people sometimes don't want the disc on its own. They want the disc, the manual, the front, cover art, and the box. Now, I know empty boxes can go for about 50p to £1 each. I've seen manuals and cover art go for £2 or £3 each. So the time you get the cover art and the manual and the box, if you ain't got a box for it, yeah, that's going to cost you more to actually make into a CIB. So it would be cheaper for me to go out and buy the game itself, CIB, hopefully from CX for £1.50. But there's a big but. How do you know that CEX has got that in stock? You know, what is the nearest CEX shop has that in stock? Now, you can have one in store right now, for instance, yeah, CIB, probably. May have the manual, may not have the manual. You don't know until you get it. But let's say there's only one CEX that's actually got that game. So you order it online, because, like, you know, it could be up in fucking Nottingham or Scotland or somewhere that's got the game, and you live down south. You ain't going to travel all the way up there to get that game, are you? Just think of how much it's going to cost you in travel costs, whether it being fuel. You've got like one of those electric motors, you know, it's going to cost you money in electricity, because you might have to charge your car up on the way. You know, public transport, you might need to get a bus to a train station, then a train to go to Nottingham or Manchester or wherever the fucking game is. It's going to cost you a lot of money. The cheapest way to get it is through CEX, but it's not going to cost you £1.50 unless it's in a CEX next to you, right near you. Then if it's in store, then you go and pick it up at £1.50. But if it's up at Nottingham or Manchester or Scotland or somewhere like that, and you really want that game, you're going to buy the game. But the thing is, with CEX, they add on another, I think, about £3 postage. So that's going to cost you £4.50 in CEX. All right. You know, you might even get the game on eBay for about £2 or £3. You know, complete with manual, CIB. Some people might include the postage with it, some might not. It might be a £3 game with £2 postage, being £5. So you've got a choice of getting it from CEX, which is going to cost you maybe a fiver, or eBay, which could cost you a fiver. I'd rather get it from eBay than actually order it from online on CEX, because I've ordered stuff on CEX and it's nearly taken 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, to receive 3 out of 4 games, and I've still not got my 4th game. I don't even know if they refunded me on the 4th game. So that is one thing I'm going to ask him when I go up to CEX next time. Right, my throat's getting a bit dry. Now, the reason I buy them is, you know, scratch disc. Who really wants a scratch disc? All right, Tomcat, how's it going, mate? Who really wants to buy a scratch disc? I really don't like scratch discs, because they can be a bit of a problem trying to play the game on the console. You know, you could buy a game. Right, a minute. You could buy a game like Bully, for instance, yeah? Comes with a map. It doesn't come with the actual manual. The disc is okay. Got a few minor scratches on, which are okay because the game will probably still play. But when you've got a game you've ordered on eBay and it comes completely scratched to fuck, it's not going to work. So what do you do when you buy a game thinking it's going to work? You're going to send it back, aren't you? Unless you've got like this one here, for instance, yeah? Look how scratched that is. Is that going to play my Wii U? I don't know until I try it. But let's say it doesn't play. You've got two options. Unless you're lucky enough to have a disc repair machine and you can repair the disc, then you're okay. But the thing is, even with a disc repair, you're still paying money out to get that game up and running. So if I paid for this game, for instance, yeah, let's say it's like complete boxed, you know, with manual. This one isn't, but let's say it is a complete box with manual. And I paid like £6 for it, plus a couple of pound postage, you know, £7. A lot of sellers don't tell you on eBay if the discs are scratched or not. They just want to get rid of them. They want to make you money. That's it. They just want money. You know, they go on out and bought the games. Sometimes they don't even bother checking the disc. They just buy it, stick it to one side, relist it, sell it, and get your money. So you could get a disc thinking it's going to be, you know, pretty immaculate, near mint, or at least workable. Get it through the post after spending like £5 for the game, and a couple of pounds for the postage, being £7 for a game, right? You get it, you look at it, and you see all those scratches on there. You aren't going to be too happy, are you? Because the seller hasn't told you it's got scratches on it. So you pull it in your console. It might load up, might be playable for the like first 5-10 minutes, and suddenly it just starts freezing. The game keeps crashing out because of the scratches on there. Now, unless you've got a disc cleaner, like I have, yeah, disc repairer, before I even play that, I'd put it in the disc repair machine and try to get it, you know, as less scratches on there as possible, and then put it in the game console and then play the game if I want to play the game, you know. And let's say the game's working. You still haven't paid £7, really. You've paid more than £7 if you've got a disc repair, because you've had to buy the disc repair machine to clean all your discs up and repair them. You know, you've got to pay for your fluids, your compound, and your polishing fluid. Even if it's only like a couple of pence or a pound, you know, in fluid cost for your compound and your polishing. Let's say, like, you know, you spend £1 to clean one disc, because you might have put it through a disc repair machine 2-3 times. This one probably had to go through 3 times. So it's going to cost me, you know, a good couple of quid in the compound and the polishing. But then you've got to realise the actual repair machine, you're still paying back on the repair machine, right? And then you've got your electricity charges as well. And, you know, it might only cost like 5p, you know, to run that, you know, to put this roof 3 or 4 times, you know, to get this really cleaned up. You're still paying money, aren't you? So that's still paying or adding costs to the game. You know, the only way you're going to make your money back on this repair machine is probably like cleaning 1,000 games and then like, you know, sending the games for £1 each or something and making £1,000 back. Then you've probably like, you know, got your money back. But then that's the money on the actual repair machine. How about all your electricity costs? How about the disc cleaning, like compound and the polishing, you know, for us? That's not cheap. You know, like the Maguire. I've got them up there actually. A twin set, the compound and the polish is like about 35 quid for the pair. If you've polished like 1,000 discs, you probably had to have gone through 10, 20 of these. And at 40 odd quid, you know, for just these two, that's a lot of fucking money, I tell you. So that extra 500 quid, even though, like, let's say you sold your 1,000 discs, which you've cleaned and repaired, and they've got like the inlays and the manuals and, you know, the DV case. You got your £1,000, you paid back on the machine, right? So that's okay. But the £500 on top, which you think is profit, isn't, because you've had to pay for God knows how much of this kind of stuff. Then you got to buy your microfiber cloths. Now you can probably buy 20 of these and like just stick them in the washing machine once they get, you know, really dirty and keep using them. But they're going to wear down eventually, and you're going to have to keep buying more. So that £500 out at 1,000 is going to be covering the cost of these. You know, then you might say, well, how about the games? You know, then you've got to consider how much you pay for the games as well to make that £1,000. You know, you might have spent about £400 in buying the games to get the £1,000, but then you've got to take that out that £400 you've got to take out the £1,000. So 500, 400, you've only got £100, and if you've gone through these, you've not really made a profit. You're kind of like at a profit at the moment. So it's more like keep buying and buying and buying games and trying to make your money back, you know. Plus you've got to keep buying these buffers as well to allow you to clean discs. Then you got to keep buying your, you know, the sandpaper and stuff. That's more money on top. So why do I do it? Why do I do it? I really don't know why I do it. I think it's just because I do want to get games and trying to get them cheap as possible and put them in the collection. The games that I'm not going to use and I don't want them in the collection, I will probably try to bundle up and probably try and make some of the money back, you know. But you got to spend to get what you need, I suppose. It's like with any hobby, you know, you spend that shitloads of money, you know, to get what you want to get, and a lot of times you don't even use them. You know, there's plenty of YouTubers on YouTube, you know, especially Americans, where they go out and buy, you know, hundreds of games, you know, even clearances and stuff like that to either keep in your own collection or to resell. But even the people that buy just to put in the collection, how many games do they really play? If they, right, I've seen videos where a person's got like 15,000 games. I can't see that he's played 15,000 games. No fucking way. Not in your ordinary, you know. It'd be impossible for him to play 15,000 games within the amount of 5 years that he's been buying and collecting. You know, there's not enough time. You know, some games take 15, 20 hours to complete one game. So unless he's on fucking speed or crack or marijuana or something that keeps him awake 24 hours a day, there's no way he's going to be able to play 15,000 games in a 5-year period. You know, they tend to buy them and build up a collection because, again, it's more kind of hoping that those games might make a bit of money later, and then they can resell the games at a higher price, kind of thing. Now I'm buying a lot of games myself, and hopefully to maybe flip and make a little bit of profit. But it's not going to be profit because I've got to pay out for the JFJ machine, the fluids, the sandpaper, the buffers, the cleaning stuff, everything like that. So, I don't think it's ever going to be possible to make money back on it. If I ever did, it'd be a miracle. Even if you get games which are near mint condition, it's only got a few fingerprints on it, all you got to do is give them a quick wipe over and then put them back in the case, and that's it, put them in the collection, and or put them into one side and sell them and put on the eBay listing, like this one here, for instance. I bought this one because this apparently was the first Red Dead game that came out. Although it's called Red Dead Revolver, it is a Red Dead franchise, like Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Undead. Now this one, I can't remember. Actually, I got the case and the manual from an eBay seller where I bought a load of cases and manuals and like the cover art without no games. I bought the games separately. I think the game cost me, let me see, game cost me £6.95 with postage, yeah. To buy it in CX is £12. Now the case and the manual came with like a bulk load of stuff, yeah. And I did get 2 of the cases in the same package, but only one had the actual manual. So the other case is just like the front cover, the case, no game, no manual. So I'm going to keep an eye out for another manual. And if I have to buy the game again, I will do. But that disc alone, just this disc, which came through the other day, which has got scratches on, so it does need to go through the disc cleaner at least twice. That disc alone costs £6.95 with postage. Now, as I say, because I was lucky enough to get the case in with a bulk load of other cases, yeah, that case probably only cost me like a couple of quid, if that, with the cover and the manual. So really that's going to cost me, say, like £9 in total. It saved me money by going into CX because CX might have it, but they might not have the manual. And you don't know what the conditions are with the discs. And it's the same game, PlayStation 2 version. Now, if I went to CX, that would cost me £12. So that'd be £3 more. But if I bought the game separately, which I did do, which cost me £7, and the case was like £2, being £9. If I traded that in for cash, I'd only get £3 cash on it. Voucher £4, so I'll be losing money. So if I wanted to resell that, I'd have to sell it on eBay or Vintage or Facebook Marketplace or something, for not what I pay for it, £9. I'd have to do it like around about CX value, £12. Some people say, well, wait a minute, I can go to CX and buy that and not pay the postage. Well, you can go to your local CX and buy it at CX and not pay the postage. But the thing is, you are paying a little bit more than the £12. You've got to consider about your fuel cost or, whatever travel cost you're doing, unless you're kind of like walking distance away from it, you're still paying more for the game than you expected to. So although that's cost me £9, time I run it through the JFG cleaner, that game's going to cost me at least not £9 but £12. So it's going to be around about the same price as a CEX time it's been cleaned up and everything. Now, as I say, the only reason I'm buying like scratch discs because I've got the cleaner. People don't want scratch discs. I have seen people sell stuff on eBay, like for instance, saying like Bully or like Red Dead Redemption or something here, near mint or very good condition, resurfaced, and they will put resurfaced on there. And at least people can turn around and say, well, you know, at least I'm not going to get a really fucked up disc. Because people have been honest enough to say, well, hang on a minute, you know, this disc has been resurfaced. I'm okay with that. At least it's going to be better condition than any other game I'm going to buy on eBay. Because he could go to another eBay seller and thinking that the game's going to come in near mint condition and it could be completely scratched to buggery. I have bought single games thinking they're going to be good condition and they have been scratched to buggery, man. Do I complain about it? No, because I don't mind a scratch disc if it's, cheap enough, because then I can clean that up myself. I've not done any like disc cleaning for a couple of weeks now, actually. So I've been buying too many fucking games to see if I can match up with cases which have got the manuals and the cover art. And if it hasn't got the manual and cover art, I've been buying cover art and manuals separately to try and like do my own CIBs. And if you don't know what CIB is, it's completing box. Completing boxes is like the cover art, the manual, and the disc. And then the kind of extra inserts it might come with. So what am I going to do with them all? I've got quite a few hundred games here. My last batch this morning, disc was like 100 and something. Where was that listing? $100 Sony PlayStation and Xbox games. So this video I did earlier, stream I did earlier, had apparently 100 games in it. I didn't count them. Should have done, but I'm not counting them. I can count them later anyway. They're only right beside me. But apparently like 100 Sony PlayStation, Xbox 360 games. Disc only, £45, plus postage, being £48.39. I did get a little bit cheaper, I think. I think he originally wanted a bit more. I think he wanted like 50, but I got him down to like 45. There are other listings that I've been looking at. There's a job lot of Xbox 360 empty cases, manual, PlayStation 3 empty cases. I don't know how many there is in total, but I'm waiting for that to turn up. So hopefully I might be able to put some of those with the empty cases, but they're not completely empty. They got the inserts. Some may have the manual, some may not have the manual. I may have the manual separately if they're not in the box. I might not have the manual. I might have to buy the manual separately to do a complete CIB. But I've got kind of like lower my purchasing down on eBay because I've spent so much fucking money. The reason I've been buying stuff because there are games in some of these eBay listings that I've bought that look interesting, and they do work out a little bit cheaper than actually going to CEX. Some people say, well, there might be 3 games in there that you pay £45 for, and then CEX are only like £3 or £4 each. So it's like 3 games are like, say like a tenner. But you just gone out and spent £45 on a job lot where, those games are in there. Yeah, but the thing is, don't forget you've got probably about another 50, 60 games in there. You know, even if you don't get the case and the insert and the manual, you might be okay with that. You know, look at it. You know, you've got 100 games for £45. You know, that's less than £1 each, isn't it? Really, it's less than 50p each. And like by looking at those this morning, you know, a lot of them, you know, discs were pretty okay. You know, I say like 50-50. So you know, I might not want the case, the label, you know, the artwork, the manual. I might just be okay with the disc and just stick it in my disc folder. If I want to like show it off to people who come round and they're interested in seeing what I've got in my collection, then yeah, I'm going to buy, you know, one which has got the case, the cover art, and the label. But there's a load of games there which I'm just buying, you know, just for the sake of buying, and I still want to keep it in my collection. I'm not going to worry about, you know, the cover art and the manual and that. I'm just going to stick them in my folder. If I come across the folder, if I come across a manual and cover art at some stage, then fair enough, because I can stick them in the case. You know, I bought a shitload of empty DVD cases with nothing there at all. It's just blank, empty DVD cases. You know, most of them were like black. I did buy a bulk which had a mixture, some white, some red, but I say like 75% of it was black DVD cases. No inserts, no manuals, nothing, just a DVD case. And I bought those as replacements, so if I do get a game and the case is like completely knackered, no split, broken, I can just take the game, the cover art, and the manual and stick it in a newer case and throw the old one away. The only thing I don't have is the original Xbox cases. I've got very limited amount of those, and the PlayStation 3 ones, very limited on some spares on those ones. So that's what I might purchase next. But the thing is, like, some of those blank cases can be pretty expensive. If I go to my watching, that's my purchase. Let's go up to the top. Watch list. DVD. Oh. Cases. Right, it's not coming up. Got like 113 empty PlayStation cases, but they do have the manuals and stuff like that. Really. Let's do game DVD spare cases that way. Right, just to buy a 10 pack of blue PlayStation 2 game cases. It's like £16.99, which is pretty expensive. The Xbox 360 ones, 10 original, £17.73, but that's like plus £18 postage from United States. Let's do UK. Next book, game DVD spare. Replacement. NT. Because I did see someone like 50 black cases, £24, yeah. Empty DVD case, various colours, £1.39 to £1.69. each. A replacement game case for Microsoft Xbox 360 between £2.95 and £74. So let's see what £74 gets you. 100? Yeah, 100. 74 quid. Would I need 100? Doubt it. Seven blue DVD cases, free postage, but that's 7 cases, £10. Trying to find the Xbox ones. There's an 8-way clear CD, but how many games have 8 discs with them? 50 array double clear DVD cases, £29, 42. Let's do Xbox 360 replacement cases. Can't even find it now. There was a listing a guy had with the Xbox 360 cases, and he was asking £100 for like 200, I think it was. I can't seem to find it. Another seller had the no, actually I'll put 260, not 360. Another one had the PlayStation 3 ones. But 10 empty cases, $15.99. One single one is $2.95. Xbox 360, 200 would cost £118.99, or 100 would be £61, or 50 would be £32. Five times original Xbox, £4.99 plus £3, 50 postage. 10 Xbox 360 replacement ones, pack of 10, £16.99. So they do work out kind of expensive. So, you know, if you think about it, it'd probably be a lot more easier and cheaper to buy the actual games with the inserts and stuff. Because, like, if you bought like a job lot of games, or game cases like I bought the other day, which is in the hallway. Let me tell you what I've got. Even the one I'm still waiting on. There is a job lot of Xbox 360s and PlayStation 5, PlayStation 3 games, yeah. And it comes with like a bunch of manuals as well. But all the game cases are original Xbox ones, and the PlayStation 3 games cases are original PlayStation 3 cases. Now, if I can't find the game, or I'm not interested in a certain game, it's got the manual and the cover art, if needed, if I need a case, I can take the cover art and the manual out of a case and use that case and just put the manual and the cover art to one side. Same with the Xbox one. Like, I just spent like £20 plus £8.99. Then how much was that in total? £28, right? £28 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So say 46 original Xbox game cases. The PlayStation 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 PlayStation 3 cases. So 46 Xbox 360 and about 14 or 15 PlayStation 3 cases, yeah. For 28 quid. Alright. Now you may think, well, that's still expensive. Well, not really, because don't forget, you've got the cover art. You may have manuals in some of those cases as well. And you could take them out and, you know, keep them. You could even keep them in the cases, and hopefully you might have some games to put in with the cases and have a, you know, get a complete CIB. I know I've got some Batman Lego Xbox games in the case in the living room, so that's one game already completed. Dirt 2 as well, I think I've got in the living room. So there's going to be, like, you know, at least half a dozen games there which may have manuals in. And if they do have manuals, all I've got to do is put the game in, and then I've got complete games in a box. So it'd be, like, as said before, CIB, cover art, manual, and a game. Alright? You know, the box, the game box might even have the manual and a few extras inside, like the map and stuff like that, you know, kind of thing, you know, like extra information sheets or something to make it even more complete. But some people don't even worry about the, you know, the little advertisement sheets. As long as it's got the original manual and the map, if it needs a map, then you can class that as a complete CIB. But some people class them as CIB, even if it ain't got the map, but it's got the manual. If you can understand what I'm talking about. So by doing it that way, even if you don't have the game and you're not worried about not getting that game, you know, I've got so many Viva games at the moment, yeah, it's unbelievable. If I've got a game which it comes in the post and the box is completely screwed on it, you know, broken, chipped, you know, cracks or whatever, I can take one of the Viva games out of its box, take the manual, cover art, and use that box, that case, on the one game which I've just received and want it in collection. Yeah, alright, some cases may come through busted, you know, out of these job lots. That's a risk you got to take, really. It's like with the games. You take a risk in hoping that some of the games, or most of the games, will be nice and clean, you know, not going to be mint. But as long as they ain't got that many scratches on it, you're okay. But if you've got hundreds of scratches like I've had in some of these job lots I've had, I don't know how people can make their discs so scratched up, so bad. I've got no clue. You know, I've had some real bad discs, you know, and I've not even bothered cleaning any discs for a couple of weeks, as I say, at the moment. So I've just been stupid enough to buy so many games and cases and manuals and inserts. Be quiet. What do you want? Not talk to you because you keep shitting on the floor. You don't use your dirt box, you use the fucking floor. So, no, some of the people that's actually selling the cases and stuff like that, I tend to add them on my eBay to see if they actually have any more or get any more in their eBay listings later. But buying off eBay, it is a risk, you know. It's like with vintage as well, or Facebook Marketplace, or even CX. You know, it's a risk in buying games, because I've had games which have been pretty scratched up from CX, especially the touring branch, and I didn't realise they were badly scratched up until I got home and had a proper look at them. Because in CX sometimes the light isn't that brilliant in there, like the disc looks okay, and the thing with CX, you know, I asked them one time. I asked the guys at Streatham. I said, "Do you normally buy scratch games?" He goes, "Well, no, we try not to. If they've only got one or two little minor scratches, then yeah, we pass them." And like I said, "Yeah, but are you allowed to resell them like that?" He goes, "Oh yeah, of course we are. You know, if we weren't allowed to sell them with a few scratched on, we wouldn't take them in, would we?" I said, "Yeah, but I've had games from you guys, you know, not just you in Streatham, but other places where they've been totally scratched up." And he goes, all we got to do is ask them to clean them. I said, "Yeah, but Tooting hasn't got a fucking disc cleaner. Their ones are broken, and apparently CX will not buy it or replace or even fix that one. So they're still bringing in, like, you know, scratch games, you know, kind of thing. And if you can't get them clean, if you ain't got a disc cleaner yourself and they ain't got a disc cleaner, and the game don't work, then what do you do?" He goes, "Well, all you got to do is bring it back, and then we'll let you exchange it over, or we give you a credit note." Now, what if you pay cash for it? "Oh, we don't give you cash back, we give you a credit note of the value of the game," which I think's wrong, because if you spent like £50 on a game and it doesn't work, and they don't have a replacement one in stock, you're going to want your money back, aren't you? I fucking would. I won't leave that shop until I give me money back. So, with any way of getting games through, like CX, car boot fairs, or anything like that, you know, you are going to get a lot of scratched games. Hopefully, they're not going to be too scratched that you can't play the game, and that you are to be able to play it, or you're going to be okay with the scratch games and, you know, use your own techniques of removing the scratches, being like a JFJ, or I think there's one called an ECO or ECC or something like that. And there's about 4 or 5 different like disc repair machines, but you know, some of them like £2 or £3 each, and only allow you to use a certain chip where you can only clean 100 discs until the chip runs out. Then you got to buy a new chip so you can clean another 100, and that is pretty expensive that way. But with those ones, it's more of a 1 or 2 quick run throughs with the cleaner. Like, you know, a very, very scratched up one might have to go through 2 cleaning on a very expensive machine. But while on a cheap one, like the JFG, you might have to do it 3 or 4 times. If you do it too much, you ain't going to let the game play. You're going to fuck up the game even more. So, you know, it is more of a chance than buying stuff off eBay, or, you know, if CX got a working machine, you can say to them, "Well, you know, that's a bit scratched, you know, can you put it through your disc cleaner?" They can't turn around and say no. And if they do say no, we can't do it, you know, because the machine's not working, you've got 2 choices: take it as it is, or say no, I don't want it, you know, I'm not buying it. So, but you know, a lot of the games I've been buying, you know, I am going to try to build up a fair collection of games. Don't mean that I'm going to be playing every single game, because there's not enough time in my lifetime to play every single game. It is going to be more of a never remember that fucking word. Oh God, someone fucking helped me out with it the other day. I don't know. I have a problem trying to think of certain words, you know, kind of thing. I do have a slight touch dementia apparently, so it's hard for me to think and remember things. But it could be like, you know, maybe a financial game. If I was to buy a load of games and like put them to one side, and hopefully that the game will go up in value than rather down. So, you know, even if I'd like had 1,000 games, you know, in a collection, and I've paid like a couple of hundred, well, not a couple of hundred, but like, say, like, if I've got 1,000 games and I spend like £2 or £3 on each game, you're talking about £2,000 to £3,000 in those games. You know, within like 5-10 years, those games, if they've not gone down, they probably go up, and then that way I'll probably like made like an extra 500 or £1,000 in, you know, in the game, you know, in the games itself. You know, there might be a game there which is like a £30 game, for instance, yeah, and I do have a couple of games which are like £20-30 games. You know, if I kept those games for the next 5 years, those games might increase to like double, even triple the money. It's like an investment. That's the word I was trying to think of, investment. So, you know, when you're investing in certain like things, you know, out there, you know, you could buy a fucking car, you know, and park it somewhere and not use it for 20 years, and it's like an investment, hoping that that car is going to like gain a very big value to it later on, you know. And you might spend like £5,000 for the car, or even 20,000 car, you know, and 10 years later that car might be worth not the 20 grand that you paid for it, but like 30 or 40 grand, you know. So it's an investment in the games. And I know a lot of people on YouTube are investing in games. They're not actually playing them because they don't want the game, you know, to get scratched up and damaged, you know, kind of thing. So they just put it on the shelf and like leave it there. They'll only take it down to give the box a clean up and probably like maybe change the box over. But if it's like, you know, some of these like retro ones, you know, like the Nintendo or the Sega, and it's a cardboard box, those boxes, like, you know, can kind of like fade and start falling apart years later. Surprising, you know, seeing how many games are out there which has still got original boxes and original cellophane seals on, you know, like the plastic covering and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of people buying games like that, and have, you know, games like 30-40 years old, you know, and they still got the original cellophane around it and never been opened. And there's games out there which are like hundreds and thousands of pounds in value. Like there's one guy who wanted the game, and it's a PlayStation 2 game, would you believe it? They wouldn't like $3,000 for it, $3,000. And, you know, how much did they originally buy it from? Did they buy it from a collection, which they most probably did? Because these are like, you know, resellers, like shop owners who actually buy collections, put it in their store and resell it. If they don't resell it in their store, then they take it to like these gaming fairs, and there might be a guy who really wants that game and willing to pay like $3 or $4,000 for that one particular game. And that game might have only been like a couple of quid when it first came out, saying like about £10 when it first came out. Just thinking of the profit margin that arose on that game, you know. Like some of the Pokemon games, for instance, you know, they go for big money as well. Some of the Pokemon cards are going for fucking massively, you know, like high end of value. We had Pokemon stuff at one time, but I don't know whatever happened to it. You know, I've gone through with my cupboards and like me living room, and it's not in there. I know we had it though, but where that disappeared to, I really do not know. It's one place I've not looked properly, so I might go and check that in a minute. It's like a little table with a single drawer. So I might have a look in there, but I think there's more photos and postcards in there. I might, if I, there might be a holographic Charizard in there, which might be worth a few grand. I don't know. I don't think we have got it. I don't think I have still got it, but I'm going to check one place in a minute and just see if it is in there or not. Don't think it is, but I'm going to double check anyway. So I don't think I've checked in there. I know there's like photo albums in there. But yeah, anyway, so that's the reason why I've been buying stuff. It's not so much. It is partly as an investment, I suppose, but I also want to build up my own collection. And if I don't, play the games, it's never going to be possible for me to buy every single game on a specific format, like PlayStation or Xbox. That costs way too much money. You're talking probably hundreds of thousands of pounds to get every single game. And there are YouTubers out there that has got every single game on either Xbox, PlayStation, PS1, or whatever. And they've like spent hundreds and thousands of pounds or dollars. That's not for me. I'm going to collect what I want to collect, and that's it. All the ones I don't want. I've got some consoles, Xbox consoles, Wii consoles. They all work. They've all been tested. I'll just grab one of my Xboxes maybe one time. I'm not going to do it now. Probably later in the future, a couple months time or something. Grab an Xbox, get a controller, get like a dozen games, and then just like stick it on Vintage or Facebook and see if anyone takes it. Put it out for about 30, 40, 50 quid, depending on the games and the value of the games. I have heard that people are actually now buying the 360 consoles because they want to start collecting the 360 games because of the increase of the values that are going to be happening eventually. I know CEX hasn't increased too many games at the moment. Some of them they have. Some of them have gone down in price. Some of them have gone skyrocketing in price, and they reckon that the 360 games will hold their value and will increase in their value. So that's why I'm buying a lot of PlayStation. Well, not PlayStation, but that's why I'm buying a lot of Xbox 360 games. What I can get, especially the ones that about 10, 12 quid or whatever. I'm pretty sure they might go up in value. There has been games like have been in CX for about a fiver, and they suddenly shot up to like 40, 50 quid, kind of thing. So if I can get some of those fucking games and find out that they've gone up in value, then yeah, I'll probably if I don't want them, I'll probably just trade them in for voucher and get another console or something later on. I wouldn't mind getting a Switch actually, but they can bloody will be expensive, especially the games. I was looking at the games in CX, the Switch games, 20, 30, 40 pounds. There's one there for like £140, I think it was, the other day when I went to Croydon. But I don't really want to be collecting for too many consoles, so I just don't have the room for them. My living room is supposed to be a living room, but it's going to be like a living room / games room. I still got a lot of work to do in there, I've got to build that other shelving unit, put right beside my table so I can put my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox X, the Wii console, and the GameCube console. That needs to go in there. I will probably still have the two TVs in here, and I'll probably get my Xbox One up from up there down here, and the PlayStation 4, which is below me, will stay there, and I'll probably get them back up and running because my living room can get very cold in the winter, and I mean very, very cold. And because I don't have proper central heating, I've got to use little blow heaters, and I don't want to have them running all day long because it just costs me fucking way too much money on electricity. So if I'm in there and it starts getting cold, and I still want to play a game or something, I just like close it off there and out, and then come in here and play in here. But it's got to be like, you know, a game that's compatible with the consoles in here. It can't be like a PlayStation 5 game I'm playing and suddenly say, well, it's too cold here, I'm going to shut it off and come in and play it. So I won't have a second PlayStation 5. I've only got the one. Well, I've got a couple of Xbox One consoles. I've got one PlayStation 4 console. I might purchase another second one of those later. I don't know yet. Depends on how much I can get one cheap for. But, you know, I've got like a couple of PlayStation 1s, a couple of PlayStation 2s, PlayStation 3s. I've got about 6 Wii consoles, about 5 Xbox 360 consoles. Don't really need them all. It's just taking up space. Say later on, eventually, I might start bundling them up and try and knock them out, get rid of some of them, get some of my money back. But at the moment, it's more like investing money to make money. And sometimes when you invest money, you can either make the money or you can lose money. You know, you might buy a £50 game, thinking in a couple of months' time it might be worth 100, when suddenly it could drop down to like a £5. So, but I would advise people, if you are going to buy off eBay, Vintage, or Facebook Marketplace, yeah, you're guaranteed you're going to get games which are scratched up. You know, if you don't want scratched games, you're going to have to say to the seller, are the games scratched? Are they in good condition? And if they say they've got minor scratches, you know, that's up to you if you're going to buy them or not. If they're very scratched up, then you're going to need a cleaner, a repairer, to repair them. Unless you're just going to buy the game to stick on your shelf and not ever play, you know, kind of thing. But always be wary on where you buy and what you buy. So I've got loads and loads and loads, probably 100, 200 games which are completely scratched up, which will need to go for the JFJ. I'm okay with that, you know, because I know most of them, I say at least 95% of them, will probably get cleaned up and, you know, be able to be playable. It's probably going to be maybe 5%, which ain't going to be able to be repaired and probably have to be thrown away. So, you know, that is losing money, but if you're repairing a game and making it in very good condition, you could make money as well. You know, you could get a 50p game and clean it up and stick it in the box and put it up for a couple of quid. You tripled your money back then, didn't you? You know, I've got some Wii games coming through Vintage. I've got about 4 or 5 different little collections, you know, each seller was selling like something between 5 and 10 games. And I bought like 5 different little packages. So I'm waiting for those to come up through at the moment. When they will turn up, I've got no idea. But I don't have much more coming through eBay. You know, I've got stuff on watch through eBay, but that's just watching it to see how much they're going for. If it goes for, you know, a cheaper price, you know, then I might try and get them. But I think I've got enough games at the moment. You know, I'm thinking of stopping buying games for now, and you know, giving it a few months. And you know, if I've been selling stuff and I want to recoup some stock, then I'll buy some more. But the thing is, I don't have a lot of space in the living room at the moment. It's still being sorted out, and the cabinets I've got ain't proper like cabinets where I can put DVDs on. You know, because like each shelf is like that high. I could probably put like a row of games, you know, like that. So you got the what's name, and then put games on top that way. I could do it that way. And there is a bit of a depth in these cabinets, so I can put stuff behind it like duplicates and do it that way. But for that, I've got to go through every single game, alphabet them, and it's so like if I've got like 4 Red Dead Redemptions, which I think I probably have got now, especially on like PlayStation 3. If I can get a case of the manuals of them, then I can like just put them on the shelf, and then kind of have it like that and on top, so I know how many copies I've got. If I want to throw a copy in with the PlayStation or Xbox later, then I can do. Because I think if you stick some high value games in with cheaper value games, which many people do, you're going to get something back on your games anyway, aren't you? Right, I'm going to go. I've given myself a headache, and I want to go and check out that little cupboard in the living room just to see if there is any Pokemon game cards now. I don't think there is, but I'm going to go and check anyway while I think about it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Might be tomorrow, might be later in the week. Depends on if I get this stuff through. So cheers for watching. Don't forget, like, share, hit the notification bell for the next live stream or upload. I will probably do some game playing over this week. Not sure when, but I will do some more game playing. I bought a new map out, a free map for Way of the Hunter, so I might give that a go. Not sure what animals are on it, but I know it's a new map. So I was watching MacronTube playing it yesterday for a little bit, and it is a new map, a free map. So I went on the PlayStation and downloaded that last night. So yeah, so as I say, don't forget, like, share, hit that notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. So as I keep saying, I want to get 500 subscribers before the end of the year. The only way for that to happen is for you to hit that subscribe button for me, even if you don't come back. So cheers for watching, and catch you later. Have a good one. Bye bye.